Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe button, tell a friend. Rod Diggs, a lot of individuals looked up to him, but in reality, a lot of individuals just feared him. That's all it really was. You know, he scared a lot of individuals just for the simple fact, they knew he was wild. They know he was like one of those, you call him a wild boy, off the hinges. He's liable to do anything at any given moment, and nothing's off limits to this guy. That's the only reason why they feared him or supposedly had respect for him. The story of Rod Diggs. But this is what the feds had to say about this young man right here. Don't forget, he's in ADX. He's in that maximum prison. Most secure, they say it's the most secure place in the whole entire universe. Think about that. The whole entire universe. I don't know why they said the whole universe, but that's what they said. But they said this is what he was doing. They said for years, Ronald Heron, his last name is Heron. Think about that. Maybe that's why he's so addicted to selling drugs. That's probably why. Unbelievable. But they said for years, Ronald Heron unleashed a brutal, unrelenting violence in his community while glorifying his criminal lifestyle as a crack-dealing gangster. Think about that. He really was. You will see this man making videos, doing interviews. Oh, I'm the man. Yeah, I did that. I shoot a bull. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. The worst part about it, he was a young man. He was only in his 20s. Think about that. Only probably about 20 years out of diapers. Unbelievable. But unfortunately, today's sentence, they said, today's sentence put an end to all of that for good. As I said, he's in ADX right now, ADX. The United States Attorney Lynch said Heron styled himself as a rap artist. He really did. He basically tried to come off as the smartest individual in the world, the toughest individual in the world at the same time. It was unbelievable. But they said the evidence proved that he was a notorious thug who sought power through violence, fear, and intimidation. Yeah, he really did. Check out all his interviews. He's a very cocky guy. Yeah, I'm that guy right there. I know how to pull a trigger. Just like every other individual over the age of, let's not get into all that. But this was going on with this young man right here. Keep in mind, he was only in his 20s. They said he had been going in and out of jail since he was like 13 years old. I'm trying to figure out why he didn't learn the first couple of rodeos around, to become a good boy. But it took the ADX for him to try to become a good boy. I don't know if it could happen. I don't know. But they're saying right here, let today's sentence send a message to all those other gang members who terrorize their own communities. Think about that. The places where they go to get something to eat, something to drink, go to the supermarket. They're terrorizing those individuals. But they said our federal and city law enforcement partner will not tolerate such horrendous criminal conduct. Neither should they. Think about that. So Rod Diggs was just basically a notorious drug dealer, murderer. That's why a lot of individuals feared him, and he probably thought that was respect, but I believe they just, that said, didn't want him to do anything to them because they know he was a lunatic. In a sense, he's a lunatic. Heard him say one time that he would even do something in front of the police to somebody. Think about that. I heard he tried to knock down the walls with his big hand. Yeah. I'm just joking. Entertainment purpose. That's
one and only. Yeah. Rod Diggs.
Trial. Rod Diggs, Mr. Heron, committed numerous crimes.
I got the hammer on cock. I'm ready to pop. I get to a nigga in front of the cops.
Organization. 2 New York City public housing communities. So not just one, he had two. You know, they said that Rod Diggs was basically, we get a worker and give them something to sell for him, and he get probably 7%, they get 30%. It was crazy like that. And get a few of them. That's how he made his money. He never had a 9-to-5 job. He never had a real one. Unbelievable. So they said that's what he was doing. You know, so the New York City communities located in Brooklyn in 2001, they said Heron murdered this guy named Frederick Brooks. I told you he was a notorious murderer. He really was. I can't figure out why everyone was respecting this guy right here. As I said, I think they just mainly feared him. You know, because they knew he was a lunatic. They didn't want him to snap on them. But he's in the most secure place right now in the whole world, they said, the whole universe. So no one has to worry about him right now. I believe a lot of them is probably glad he's behind the bars right now. It's unbelievable. It's really like that, though. You know, they said Heron was acquitted of that murder, you know, where he killed Frederick Brooks. You know, because someone refused to testify because they was threatened by Rod Diggs, and they said some of his friends, some of his associates. So he got released. From state prison. But here's the worst part about it. They say Rod Diggs, ever since he was like a young man, the most he used to do out in free society is like 2 years at a time, 2 years. So he come out 2 years or whatever, year and a half, do his crime, going for like 4 or 5 years, come out, do his crime, you know what I mean? So basically everything he really knew and learned, he basically learned it from behind the bars. As I said, a lot of these individuals, they go behind the bars, and a big homie will say, you know what, when you get out, I'm going to have you do this for me, do that for me, do this for me, do that for me. And you're the new big homie, so when you get caught up, you're going to come right back with the next big homie. So, you know, friends are hanging out again. Or maybe he didn't mind being behind the bars, because I said he was going back and forth since he was a young man. You know, but that's a story of Rod Diggs right there. Really, he's just a notorious murderer, drug dealer. You know, he read a lot of books, but most dudes I know who go behind the bars for a long time, they read a lot of books because they had no choice but to. It kills time. But they're still dumb, because most of those individuals, they tend to keep going back in jail over and over again. They talk with such intellect. Yeah, it's like they're a lawyer now. They went in as a thug, now they're talking like lawyers. But still, they keep going in and out of jail. So something in their mind is, you know, they could talk good now, real proper. But they still keep going back in and out of jail. I don't know, but that's a story of Rod Diggs right there. He's in one of the most secure locations in the world. You know, I wonder if he will go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to man up now, and I'm going to tell all these young soldiers out here, you know, it's not worth it. You don't want to be where I am. Or is he going to say, you know what, I'm going to show pictures of me being behind the bars with fancy shades on, being cool. Say, come hang out, come be where I'm at. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's all it takes to be a real person in some communities. You just have to be a notorious murderer. Unbelievable. And the drug dealers too. You put them both together, oh yeah, you that guy. When you go behind the bars, you know you want to come out, you crying, Mom, I had a rough upbringing, All type of nonsense.